What if I told you one of the biggest reasons veterans don't buy a home isn't money, it's bad information? I've talked to veterans and active duty service members who believe they need it 20% down to buy a home, that they need it perfect credit, that sellers won't accept VA loans, or that they could only use their VA loan benefit once. And none of those things are necessarily true. The problem is, believing these myths could stop you from using one of the most valuable benefits you've earned. So today, we're going to separate fact from fiction. Here are 7 of the biggest VA loan myths veterans still believe. I'm Jim Mercantini. I served more than 21 years in the United States Navy, and today I'm a mortgage loan originator helping military families and homebuyers better understand the mortgage process. And that's exactly why I created VA Loan Academy. Because after more than 2 decades of military service, I wanted to continue to serve, just in a different way. My goal here is simple. It's to cut through the confusion and get rid of the mortgage jargon, and help veterans and their families better understand the VA home loan benefit they've earned. So let's get started. Myth number 1, you need 20% down to buy a home. Let's start with probably one of the biggest misconceptions about buying a home in general. You need 20% down, because you don't. And when it comes to the VA loan, eligible borrowers may be able to purchase a home with no down payment at all. Now, that doesn't mean buying a home is free, and I want to make the distinction very clear. There can still be closing costs. There can be prepaid expenses like property taxes and homeowners insurance. And depending on your individual situation, there may be other costs associated with buying the home. But needing 20% down just to qualify for a VA loan, that's simply not true. And think about what that means. On a $400,000 home, 20% would be $80,000. How many military families have spent years believing they couldn't buy a home because they didn't have that kind of money just sitting in the bank? That's exactly why understanding how the VA loan works is so important. Myth number 2, you need perfect credit. This one keeps way too many people sitting on the sidelines. I've talked to people who assume that because they had a late payment or some credit card debt, or maybe even some financial problems in the past, that there's absolutely no chance that they could qualify for a mortgage. But here's what you need to understand. The Department of Veterans Affairs doesn't establish one universal minimum credit score that every VA borrower must meet. Individual lenders can have their own credit requirements and underwriting guidelines. And your credit is certainly an important part of qualifying for a mortgage, but it isn't the only thing that matters. Your income, your debts, your payment history, and your overall financial situation can all play a role in determining whether you qualify. So the lesson here is simple. Don't disqualify yourself before you even have a conversation. And don't assume that because one lender told you no, that you'll never be able to buy a home. Understand your situation, understand your options, and then create a plan for moving forward. Myth number 3, the VA gives you the loan. This is probably one of the most common misunderstandings about the VA home loan program. The Department of Veterans Affairs doesn't give you the money to buy your home. Instead, you typically get your mortgage through a private lender. The VA guarantees a portion of that loan, and that guarantee is what helps reduce some of the risk to the lender. That's one of the reasons eligible borrowers can potentially receive benefits like no down payment, competitive interest rates, and no monthly private mortgage insurance. So remember this, the lender provides the mortgage, the VA guarantees a portion of the loan, and you, the borrower, you use that benefit to purchase your home. Myth number 4, you can only use your VA loan once. I don't know where this started, but it simply isn't true. Your VA loan benefit isn't necessarily a one and done benefit. Depending on your circumstances and your available entitlement, you may be able to use your VA loan benefit multiple times throughout your life. You may even be able to have more than one VA loan at the same time under certain circumstances. Now, VA loan entitlement can get complicated, so we're going to dedicate an entire future video to explaining exactly how entitlement works, how it can be restored, and when you may be able to use your VA loan benefit again. But here's what I want you to remember today. Using your VA loan once doesn't automatically mean you've lost the benefit forever. Myth number 5, VA loans take longer to close. I hear this one all the time. VA loans take forever. VA loans are too complicated. VA loans are going to delay the transaction. But the reality is, a properly prepared VA loan can close on a timeline similar to other mortgage programs. What causes delays? Missing documentation, appraisal issues, property problems, communication breakdowns, or people involved in the transaction who just don't understand the VA loan process. And that last one is important because experience matters. Working with a VA loan specialist and a real estate agent who understands VA loans can make a significant difference in how smoothly the transaction moves forward. The loan program itself isn't automatically the problem. The execution of the process is what matters. Myth number 6, sellers don't accept VA loans. This myth can put veterans at a disadvantage before they even make an offer. Yes, there are sellers and real estate professionals who have misconceptions about VA loans. But saying sellers simply don't accept a VA loan, that's not accurate. A seller is going to evaluate the entire offer, the purchase price, the terms, the strength of the borrower, the timeline, and the likelihood the transaction will actually close. That's why having the right team matters. A knowledgeable real estate agent can help structure and present your offer, and a knowledgeable lender can communicate with everyone involved in the transaction and help address concerns about VA financing. So don't assume your VA loan makes you a weaker buyer. Focus on putting together the strongest offer possible for your individual situation. Myth number 7, VA loans are only for first-time homebuyers. Absolutely not. The VA loan program isn't just for people buying their first home. If you're eligible and you've owned a home before, you may still be able to use your VA loan benefit. Maybe you're separating from the military and relocating. Maybe you're retiring. Maybe your family has grown and you need more space. Maybe you're moving because of a PCS, or maybe you're simply ready for a different home. The VA loan benefit isn't tied to being a first-time homebuyer. It's tied to your eligibility and your individual circumstance. So let's recap. You don't necessarily need 20% down. You don't need perfect credit. The VA isn't the lender giving you the mortgage. You can potentially use your VA loan benefit more than once. VA loans don't automatically take longer to close. Sellers don't automatically reject VA offers, and the VA loan isn't only for first-time homebuyers. The VA home loan is one of the most valuable benefits available to those who've served our country. Unfortunately, it's also one of the most misunderstood. And that's exactly why I created VA Loan Academy. After serving more than 2 decades in the United States Navy, I wanted to continue serving military families by helping them better understand the home buying process. I want them to ask better questions and make more informed financial decisions. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe to the channel, because every week we're going to break down another part of the VA loan process in plain English, without the confusing mortgage jargon. And I want to hear from you. What's the biggest VA loan question you've always wanted answered? Leave it in the comments below, because your questions might become a future VA Loan Academy video. I'm Jim Mercantini with Mercantini Home Loans. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.